I'm glad that name is short. I would like to thank the Council for Economic Education and McGraw-Hill for selecting me to receive a Visionary Award. How delightful. I love my career as an educator, and I'm fortunate to receive recognition for this passion. I would especially like to thank Mickey for coming up from Washington, D.C. to present me with this honor. After hearing from Mickey, I hope that you can now understand how exceptional my students are. In the past few years, every time you read the newspapers, there is a story focusing on people's lack of financial literacy or economic knowledge. I have used several of these articles in class. Each time, the students always respond with, how could somebody buy a house with a mortgage that they wouldn't be able to pay? Why would an investor buy a CDO that they had no clue about how it worked? Perhaps the final financial crisis could have been avoided if more people had taken economics in high school, or at least a financial literacy course, and applied that knowledge in their everyday dealings. I have always realized the importance of teaching economics. The financial crisis has heightened that importance and increased my passion to teach students about economic principles and financial literacy. So now, the question is, how do you successfully teach high school seniors economics? Stop and think back to when you were in high school and how interested you were in the dismal science. Shockingly, students come to my class at the beginning of the year with that same excitement. In my high school, economics, or AP macroeconomics, is a semester course that is required for graduation. As a result, I am committed to developing a classroom and a course that is exciting, interactive, and relevant to their lives. The Council for Economic Education materials have enabled me to incorporate these ideals in my classroom. I utilize simulations. For example, when I teach about bonds, the activity I use from the Council divides the class into two groups. One group is given cards that state their business and what they want to borrow money for. One says that I want to buy a bike for my paper route. Another says that I want to borrow money so that I can attend art school so that I can become a graffiti artist. Another says that I want to borrow money to attend art school so that I can become a graphic artist. I think you get the picture of the other cards. Some would be wise investments and some very foolish investments. The other half of the class has 3 $100 bills to lend the students money. Each loan is $100. After the explanations, I shout, begin! And one side looks for lenders, and the other side looks to lend. They're told that they don't have to lend all their money. At the end, there are always some lenders that have money remaining. They are now questioned as to why they didn't lend when there were borrowers that needed money. Inevitably, they respond that some of the potential loans were too risky. I then put up a chart showing them how each loan was paid off. Naturally, some made money, some lost money, and others lost all of their money. The lenders are asked to tally up their gains and losses. We then discuss why they lent money to some very risky borrowers. I then follow up the simulation with a discussion of risk and reward. The students are engaged and really seem to understand risk and reward. This leads to further lessons about why bonds have ratings and how those ratings impact the price. I also use activities. An example that comes to mind from the Council once again is Royalty for the Day. It is based on the old TV program. So you got to go back to high school, now you get to go back to Queen for the Day. Some students take a card providing them with information about their lives and how inflation has impacted them. After they tell their stories, the class then decides who has benefited from inflation and why, and who has been hurt by inflation inflation and why. Finally, they vote for who has suffered the most, and they are then crowned royalty for the day. During these 2 lessons, as well as numerous others, the students are laughing and learning. What a wonderful combination. They have been bitten by the economics bug. It is then easy to show them the relevance of economics in their lives. I am proud to say that many of my students have gone on to major or minor in economics in college. I also get emails from many past students to share with me their reactions to lectures they've attended by noted economists. In fact, just the other day, I got a text that a student heard Fed Chairman Bernanke speak. Other students want to discuss an article that they just read in the paper or online. Each email or visit leads me to believe that my passion for economics is contagious and has spread. Unfortunately, college only requires teachers to take 1 economics course for social studies certification. Clearly, that isn't enough. Teachers need to have a comfort level with the content in order to enable them to be creative in the classroom. A basic principle of economics is utilize your resources to the fullest. The Council has been at the forefront of the movement to educate future or current economics teachers. I am committed to working with teachers to enable them to become more proficient in economics. Through the Council, I was videotaped teaching one of their lessons on GDP, and you got to see it. It is now available online for teachers to view. This allows them to read about the lesson and actually watch it being taught. I have also taught in-school workshops and courses on economics, financial literacy, and globalization. One day soon, my dream is to read that financial literacy is at least 80% nationwide, and as a result, Americans are making wise and responsible economic decisions. To this end, I would like to finish by thanking the Council for Economic Education for their creative and engaging lessons and workshops. They surely injected me with the economics bug. Thank you.